to the video. Today I'm going to be unboxing this Pilot, and let me see if I can pronounce this correctly. Iro-Utsushi, I believe is how it's pronounced. Sorry if I butchered that. This is a dip pen, and it has a, well here, let's get into the rest of the box before I get into the rest of the pen. This is a medium nib I got, and then right there you have the picture of the pen and the name again, and then the light resin body. So this is going to be a light blue resin body pen. Let's see, yeah, some information about that. Pause the video if you want to read that. We will be getting into this in a little bit. Yeah, if you want to read any of that information, just pause the video. And some more information on there. Then Pilot, then some more. And then we have a nice picture of the, or kind of like a sketch of the pen. And then we have a writing instrument with a fountain pen nib that allows you to write smoothly. And then we also have something up here that is covered up for some reason by the sticker. So let me remove that sticker here so we can see what the rest of that says. I don't know why the sticker covers that up, but here we go. So then this says, because it is a dip pen, you can easily change the color. And that is really nice because the dip pens are really easy to clean out, because you just swish it in some water and you're good to go. Yeah, I think that is nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. Yeah, so it looks like that. So there's a little flap, a little tab there, and it looks like the sticker was kind of holding it in the box. Oh, that's very nice. So yeah, ooh, nice. Okay, so it just unfolds. Ooh, almost knocked my thing of water over. So it just unfolds like that, and then we have the dip pen in here. Let's see if I can figure out how to. So yeah, it looks okay. So that kind of folds down, and I can get that out and pop that out like that. And then we have our dip pen. Let me set the cardboard aside there. So yeah, you got this really nice. It's a very light. It looks white on the camera. In real life, it looks more blue. Let's see if I can get that blue color. So it looks clear on camera, but in real life, it looks like a clear blue. It's got kind of like a light blue hue to it. So there is a clear-bodied one of these, and there's also a wooden. There's also two wooden handled versions of this. We also have a nice rubber cap, so I'm going to hold on to that to protect the nib from damage. And then we have the Pilot nib right there. It's got M for medium. Those are really good looking nib. I don't think this nib is not removable. Let me see. It says somewhere here on the, yep. So yeah, this cannot be removed. Right there it says nib cannot be removed. Do not attempt to remove it. So yeah, and I am getting there. So this is how you use it. You dip it into that, right here, you dip it up to that hole, and to write. And we are gonna rinse this out in a thing of water before writing with it. So really, this is a really lightweight pen. Here, let me get my scale really quick. Hold on a second. So yeah, this pen basically, it feels like you're holding a feather basically. It's not, it doesn't feel like it has any weight to it. So let's see, let me see if I can get the scale in. Let's see if I can, there we go, reset it. We are in grams here, so let's see what it, looks like we are at 4 grams, and that would be point, see if I can get out of the way there so you can see it. There we go. It is at 0.0, no, not 0.0, 0.140 ounces, so basically 0.1 ounce. It's a really light pen. Feels like you're holding nothing in your hand, which would be very nice, because then it's not going to wear your hand out from doing a lot of writing. It's got an, even though it is light, it has a nice weight to it. It feels really good in the hand, and holding it has a good grip there, and just tapers off very nicely towards the back there. And before we get into writing with this thing, I'm going to quickly give it a swish in this water here, just to kind of get any anything that maybe picked up on the nib that I don't want to get into my ink, or any, some companies, they'll do a dip test with their pens, like with their fountain pens, so it's just good to get any excess, either oils or anything like that off of it, and then just dab it and dry it off here. It's not getting any watered down ink. Very nice, kind of dry off the handle. And now let's do oh, and before I forget, I did forget to mention earlier that, so this is the medium nib, and this pen also comes in a fine nib as well. I went with the medium because Japanese nibs tend to run a little finer. Fine is my favorite. I probably will eventually pick up the fine, but I wanted to have something that maybe would show ink color a little bit better than a fine nib would. So for the first ink here, let's go with one of my favorite inks, the Lamy Green. And you know what, let me give this ink a little shake up before, just kind of mix it up before dipping it. There might be a bubble, so let's see if there's a bubble. Nope, it doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, there was a bubble. Just couldn't see it. Alright, so and I'm going to dip it up to this point here, so right where this eyelet here is. About, go a little deeper. Let's try. There we go. Alright, so you see I got ink on my pen here, and I got ink down there, so it should. Ooh, almost knocked over my water again. I should maybe set that somewhere else. Set the ink there. Now let's give this. Alright, so this is the eyelet, and it does look like it is. Whoops. Might have not dipped it in enough ink. Maybe I'm writing with the wrong angle. Let me see. Nope, hang on. Let me try this again. Dip it a little bit deeper. Okay, there we go. We got a good amount of ink on it this time. Let's try this now. There we go. Hang on. It's messed up my spelling. There we go. Alright. There we go. We got Pilot, and we'll go back over this. And it's IRO. I'm sorry, let me bring you in. Let me zoom in a little bit on that so you can see. Whoop! And that is one thing looks like you do have to be careful of. And I might, you know what, might have actually gotten a little too, you see I dipped it in too far, so I got a little too much excess ink. And we'll just wipe, just kind of soak that up and then re-dip the pen here. Yeah, it looks like I dipped it too far, so keep that in mind when using this pen. It's kind of like when fountain pens can do that as well. You just have to be careful not to, like when I had a fountain pen once that let's get a new piece of paper. I didn't put the nib in enough after cleaning it, so it leaked on me. Okay, let's try that again, and we'll only dip it into up to that eyelet there. There we go. There we go. That should be good. All right, and let's get a new piece of paper here that doesn't have a lot of ink all over it. All right, let's try that again, and we'll see how long it writes too. So, Pilot. Let's try that. Is it? We'll go down here. It's very nice. It is a fine line. It's a good fine line. We'll go down here. It is kind of a scratchy nib, which I do like a scratchier nib. And then we'll put the nib, medium nib. There we go, and then we'll just see how long one dip lasts. See, am I still in camera here? I am. Sorry, this is a little tricky to do while on camera. So this is lasting good. This is good for one dip. This is still one dip, so that's good. It's like kind of starting to fade a little bit. Looks like we're running out of ink. If I was writing normally, I probably would dip by this point. Just to yep, okay, so it looks like right there, looks like to be where one dip lasts. So we got, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a dip, especially since there is no reservoir on this pen. Some dip pens will have a little plastic piece that more ink can be in. But yeah, that's pretty good for one dip. And yeah, just be careful not to dip too much. Let me blot this before I make a mess. Not to dip it too much because you will get extra ink falling off of your pen essentially. So yeah, and then clean up. Very simple. Swish it around in the water. Just make sure get it deep enough and get all that excess ink out. Alright, let's see if that. Still some ink in there. Yeah, just easy enough, as in with swashing it in water to clean up the nib. So yeah, let me finish cleaning this up, and then I will grab some fresh water to clean out the nib after another dip, and I'll get another ink here. So be right back. Alright, I'm back with a new ink. This is new ink to me even. I haven't used this one. This is Diamine Ancient Copper. And before I get into that though, let me just show you a few details I missed. We do have the, I don't know if you can even see that, but we have the pen name on the side of the body right there, which is really nice. And something I noticed while I was just kind of cleaning the pen, making sure I got all the ink, because I dipped it too deep in the ink bottle there, I got some ink up in the kind of the section where the nib meets the barrel there. So that is kind of it's a little annoying how if you accidentally dip it too deep, you're going to get ink up in there. This should be an easy problem, especially like if you're using water-soluble inks. Well, and I think how I'm going to clean this is take a container or something that's that's longer than the pen body and get some cool water and just set the pen in there and let it soak, and that ink should dissolve in a couple of hours or so. But yeah, that should be an easy fix, but just one thing to, I guess, keep in mind with this pen. And since you can't take the nib out, you can't just get in there and clean it yourself. So yeah, that is just one thing I noticed. Yeah, let's just get do another quick sample with this ink here before I let you go. And let's take the camera back a little bit so we can see. There we go. Yeah, I'll just do one quick, and I'm not going to dip this in all the way. I'm just going to do a light sample of this on my hand. Let me shake this up again. There we go. Yeah, let's just do a quick test of this ink. I'll show you this new color I got. Yeah, it's going to be a nice, let's just dip it in. We're not going to dip it. And one thing they do mention on the box, if you do dip it, if you get ink on the, there we go, that was a little bit more than I expected. If you get ink on the pen body here, you can just wipe it off with a paper towel. Alright, now let's take a look at this ink here. Yeah, kind of the same, very much the same feel with this ink. It's a scratchy nib and a nice fine line. This is mine. Is it Ancient Copper? Let me double check that ink name. And screw the lid on here because that's kind of curious. Yes, Ancient Copper. It's a nice kind of brownish orange ink. Sorry, I'm having trouble. I should just look through the camera. Still getting used to writing. Okay, so this one, since I didn't So I didn't dip it as far, I didn't write as long, so... And this also could be a wetter ink as well. Yeah. One more look at the pen. This is just a nice kind of simple pen. It's great for testing inks, I would say. Yeah, this is just my kind of quick first impressions of it. And an unboxing. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that video. Let me just do a quick... Whoops. That's another thing. If you dip it too far down in the water, that water maybe could get up in here and get the ink up in there. So that's another thing that with that open design with the nib there. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Keep your pens filled and your knife sharp. And I'll see you later.